Hey guys. All right, today let's talk about why you want to stop looking at porn. If you're here subscribing, then you probably want to, I assume, because that's what we talk about a lot. But why do you want to stop? And this is one of the most important questions to look at for yourself. And then it's also one of your most powerful tools. But it's not always what we think it's going to be starting out. Okay, when I first wanted to stop looking at porn, I thought I knew why, but my most helpful and most powerful reasons came from places I didn't expect. Okay, so the first thing to recognize is that the reason that we do almost anything in our lives naturally and instinctively is because of how we think it's going to make us feel, or because we're trying to avoid feeling a certain way. Okay, um, so a lot of guys, you ask them why they want to stop looking at porn, and they'll tell you like, I want to stop so that I can feel more loved, more accepted, more connected, more worthy, more confident, less shame, less frustration, less self-rejection, less lonely, less judged, more peace, whatever. There's all sorts of emotions that guys either want to stop feeling or feel more of by stopping looking at porn. And they think that stopping looking at porn is going to create that for them. But that's not how it works, okay? Stopping porn is not what makes you feel better emotionally. Looking at porn is not creating your emotional problems. Your emotional problems are actually causing you to look at porn. Okay. So then what actually does help you feel better emotionally? Every single emotion that you have, the helpful way to start thinking about it is that every one of those emotions comes from a thought. Okay. So if you want to feel better emotionally, then you need to change how you're thinking. So this isn't to say that stopping looking at porn can't improve uh, your life in other ways, like even physical and chemical changes in your brain that can happen if you do that for long enough. Um, so we're not discounting that. There are advantages to that, and I will do another post that talks about all of those advantages, right? But if you want to feel better emotionally, then it's got to come from your thoughts. Okay, so we get to this point where we're asking why we want to do this, and you're like, okay, so I naturally want to do it so that I can feel better. But then if stopping looking at porn doesn't actually make me feel better, then why do I want to stop looking at porn? And that's what I want you to ask yourself. It's a really helpful question to ask, because then it takes out this illusion that we have, right? Because what happens is a lot of us have tried to stop looking at porn, and we think it's going to help us feel better, and then it doesn't, right? It doesn't make you feel better emotionally, and often you actually feel worse emotionally. So then you go right back to the porn because it's like, well, that's not helping the way I thought it should, right? Um, and the reason that you feel worse a lot of times is because we're covering those emotions by looking at porn. Okay, so when you start out asking yourself why, you might come up with all these emotions that you want to feel more of or less of. And that's good. That's useful. Create that list, and you want to have that list somewhere, right? You want to be aware of it. And then you can use your thinking to go and create that list for yourself in your life. Okay. So then ask yourself, if stopping looking at porn isn't going to make me feel better emotionally, then why do I want to stop? And this is a really powerful exercise. See what you come up with, right? And then I have an exercise at the end of this post in the email that helps you take it to an even deeper level, okay? Where you really are breaking it down so that your reason for stopping comes from you. And it's an exercise on letting it come from you. So take a look at the exercise and make sure that you are utilizing this incredible question of why in your efforts to reach the goals that you're going for. And remember that you get to choose your why. So what you want to do is make sure that you like it and that it's really effective for you. And the reason that it's so important to break it down and let your reason come from you is because if you want any sort of lasting change in your life on this issue, it needs to come from you. And your most powerful reasons are going to be the ones that come from you and nobody else, nothing else in your life. If you really want it to stick, then it will come from you.